Hey kids, what time is it?
What time is it?
It's community conversations time.
It's community conversations time. That's right. From the beaches of South Florida to the hills of Tennessee, from New York to Hawaii. Tell your friends that community conversations is about to inform the next generation with news, without fear, and educate them without a pain.
And a warm South Florida and Costa Rica welcome to all of you.
This 1 hour forum deepens connections, and it provides discussions on a range of topics, including social emotional issues, improving relations with law enforcement, post-secondary education, careers, health and wellness, politics and race, inclusion and equality.
Focus on an initiative. Case in point tonight, you all were speaking about gun violence. Since I've been growing up, that's been a thing, especially living here in Florida.
Community Conversations, where it's all about highlighting the talented youth in our communities and the great things that they are doing.
In terms of encouraging women's involvement in civil rights activism.
Community Conversations.
And I'm Rikia Bowers.
And a pleasant South Florida welcome to all of you to this edition of Community Conversations. Tonight, we are coming to you from the Amazon Studios in downtown Delray Beach, the three-time All-America City. If you know someone who should be hanging with us, please take a moment and call or text them and let them know that Community Conversations is on.
If this is your first time hanging with us, it is important that you know that we have been providing you with news about what young people are doing around the globe for the past 3 years. We're committed to ensuring you have the latest local news about youth, whether it's about them doing great things in school, on athletic field or court, or even in their houses of worship. We want to highlight the positive things young people are doing in our community. Remember, no news is too small for us to cover. Let me also take a moment to wish you a happy Asian American Pacific Month. Every May, we take extra time to celebrate Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month by shining a light on AAPI accomplishments.
Why is Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month celebrated in May?
In 1977, the Congress, spearheaded by Representative Frank Horton of New York and Senator Daniel Ayu of Hawaii, chose the first 10 days of May to commemorate the history of contributions of Asian American communities here in the United States. The week's observance became a month, the very month in which the first Japanese immigrants came to the United States in 1843. We also commemorate the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad of May 10, 1869, as the majority of the workers who laid those railroad tracks were Chinese immigrants. That's why Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month is in May.
Here at Community Conversations, we take full advantage of remote technology to engage with news that will inform without fear and educate without opinion.
When Palm Beach County school officials say school nutrition professionals are heroes, they mean it. That's why every year they celebrate the men and women who provide our students with nutritious meals with the annual School Lunch Hero Day. Community Conversations special correspondent Heather Bailey tells us about a group of district employees who were recognized recently as heroes. Those school food service staff members are passionate about their
have and eat what they like. If I have it, if I try to make them all happy. I probably know every one of my kids' names.
To all the hard work that they do back here. I say it all the time. We're the heartbeat of the operation, right? Without them getting their meals, they're not going to be able to focus and function throughout their school day.
Our staff really cooks with love. There's a true love for our students, for our teachers, and for our entire community.
Those school food service staff members, they are passionate about serving our students and they are truly making a difference in the community.
Graduation season is upon us as thousands of students receive a diploma to mark the completion of their studies. But one person who will be handed his diploma next week actually finished his studies 80 years ago. Frederick Taylor, who is now 101 years old, was learning about music education at Cornell College in Iowa when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, prompting the U.S. to enter World War II. Taylor joined the Army Air Corps, and though he'd complete the requirements for his degree, he couldn't attend the graduation ceremony due to Army training. After the war, he became a music instructor for elementary, middle, and high schools, often leading school bands at graduation ceremonies, which reminded him that he'd never be able to participate on his own. This spring, his daughter contacted Cornell College, and they were happy to make special arrangements to include Mr. Taylor in the ceremony next week. The retired music instructor tells the Washington Post he is tickled about the upcoming event with his daughter, adding, "It's the best kind of closure." Tickled? Why couldn't he just say happy?
He's 101 years old. What do you expect?
You're going to be 100 before Ivy.
It's a birdhouse and a library, and yes, an incredible act of kindness. Students in the construction class at Riviera Beach Preparatory and Achievement Academy built a very unique little library for the birds. Let's listen as our Washington Elementary correspondent, Paradise, tells us more.
Elementary, and I want to tell you about a really cool story. Our friends at Riviera Beach Prep and the Construction Academy, they actually built a birdhouse that's also a library.
I want to thank our carpentry teacher and his students for doing an amazing job. It is done so perfect, and they did such a great job.
The most exciting part, the countdown to cutting the ribbon. This was a celebration. I love it because it's colorful and beautiful. And the best part, there are lots of books inside. Thanks to the Education Foundation. They donated over 200 books. This is going to be great for all the amazing readers right here at Washington Elementary. And everybody at Washington Elementary wanted to say, thank you!
Right now, we are promoting literacy all across the campus, and it means so much to have Riviera Beach Prep think about us and build this birdhouse for us.
Riviera Beach just all came together, and all of us coming together. We did something special here today, and I just appreciate it so much.
I love our library, and I can't wait to read more books.
The fun of back-to-school backpack shopping is coming to an end in South Florida. The Broward School District, which is the second largest in the state and includes Fort Lauderdale, will only allow clear book bags starting in August. The new rule also applies to lunch boxes, purses, duffels, and fanny packs. All have to be see-through. The superintendent calls the decision a game changer for safety, but not everyone is on board. Kids interviewed by CBS Miami said, "I don't like it. People looking at what I have in my backpack. I don't feel great with that. And it's an invasion of privacy." The rule will apply to all students from pre-K through 12th grade, but will not include teachers, staff, volunteers, or visitors.
Switzerland is trying to get its kids to say no thank you to its famous cheese and chocolate and may I please to edible insects. It doesn't seem like a fair trade, but as the Wall Street Journal reports, the country is the first in Europe to allow bugs to be sold as food, and now the companies hoping to sell them need customers. That means showing up at schools with free plates of spiced mealworms, crickets dusted with paprika, and crackers made with flour from ground-up crickets. The reaction ranged from yum to yuck, but fried grasshoppers and big-bottom ants could be the food future. They are environmentally friendly and are already on the menu in other countries. Still, not an easy buy-in. As one well-traveled Swiss 13-year-old told a bug vendor, I already eat enough insects when I go to Colombia. I don't have to eat them here.
Another college decision is also making news. The son of basketball great LeBron James is headed to USC. Bronny James is also a baller, but there was more to his dad's excitement than basketball. Earlier this week, LeBron, who was drafted out of high school, told Spectrum Sportsnet, it's the first time someone out of my family is going to college. Obviously, I didn't go to college. I'm super duper proud, super emotional, super duper excited, and happy for his journey.
Now, we would like to wish a big birthday shout out to Ms. Deborah Nix from all your friends here at Community Conversations. A huge thanks to all the adults, parents, grandparents, educators, and responsible community servants who every Friday night hang out with us to share ideas and instill value in us, the leaders of tomorrow. We hear from you in the streets, we get your texts and emails, and we value your feedback. You are indeed contributing to your community as our mentors, and for that, we say thank you. A warm shout out to our team of mentors, Ms. Suzette Franklin, Ms. Kitty Luden, Mr. James T. Thomas, Mr. Dion Jefferson, Mr. Terrell Kane, Ms. Jessica Weir, Ms. Priscilla M. Willingham, Mr. Ted White, Mr. Roy Jenkins, and Ms. Nastasia Dillon. We thank you for investing your time in us, and guess what? We do not take your time for granted.
If you're just tuning in, we are coming to you from the Amazon Studios on Atlantic Avenue, which is right next door to Windy City Pizza. If you are hanging out in the area and you have time, stop by and say hello. You never know. You may receive one of our gift cards that we are giving away tonight.
This segment is brought to you by the Women's Club of Delray Beach, which has been improving the quality of life for residents of Delray Beach since its inception in 1902. Did you know that the Women's Club of Delray Beach, formerly the Ladies Improvement Society, was founded in 1902 by a group of 18 women? These ladies are credited with establishing the Pine Ridge Cemetery in 1902. 2 years later, in 1904, they funded the building of a new town hall, which was completed in 1906. A second floor was added 2 years later. In 1913, they established the first library by donating books and establishing rules. Did you know that 75% of the public libraries in this country was started by women's groups? In 1919, the Ladies Improvement Society petitioned to grant women the right to vote in local elections. They established a lunchroom in the town's only school and were first to serve hot lunches to the children. In 1946, they raised money for a room at Bethesda Hospital and built an addition on the east side of its clubhouse. And the women's club of Delray Beach is now 121 years old and is still carrying on the proud tradition of fundraising, proving volunteer services to the community, and financial support to a number of local projects and nonprofit organizations. To learn more about the Women's Club of Delray Beach, contact P.O. Box 6593, 14280 Military Trail, Delray Beach, Florida.
Several of you have been sending us videos that you felt are funny. And sometimes some of them are actually hilarious. If you come across a video you think you will get a laugh from Mr. Ciron, send it to us at 561-665-0151. You might just win a $15 gas card courtesy of John Peters State Farm Insurance. As usual, we leave this segment with the small fries during their affirmation.
Small fries, do the affirmation.
The affirmation. I will go to college. I will succeed. This is my promise. This is my creed.
Let's hear that again.
The affirmation. I will go to college. I will succeed. This is my promise. This is my creed.
One more time.
The affirmation. I will go to college. I will succeed. This is my promise. This is my creed.
If you have plans for this weekend, Isabella has an update from the
Hello, fans. As you kick off the weekend, brace yourselves for some cloudy skies and warm weather. If you're planning on venturing out tonight, there will be partly cloudy skies. The low will be 74 degrees, and winds will be out of the east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tomorrow, we can expect cloudy skies with the high around 85 degrees. Winds will be out of the east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Saturday evening, there are clear skies during the afternoon, with a low of 72 degrees. There are winds at east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. The sun will rise at 6:34 a.m. and sink at 7:59 p.m. Sunday will be partly cloudy skies and a stray thunderstorm is possible. There's a high of 86 degrees, and you can expect winds coming in from the northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Sunday night, there will be a few clouds out from time to time, with the low being at 72 degrees. There are winds expected to come out of the east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Sunrise is at 6:33 a.m. and sunset will be at 8 p.m. Until next time, that has been your weather from the Children's Services Council Weather Desk. Have a fun and safe Mother's Day weekend, everyone.
to receive what the teachers are giving them. And it means that parents are ready to support their children in their learning and that schools are ready to receive those children. So the vast majority of our dollars go to do just that. Everything from home visiting to literacy to mental health programs to nutrition programs. And we actually fund scholarships for 20,000 children in this community so that those parents can go back to work and those children can be in safe and nurturing environments. And we also have dollars that go to improving the quality of our child care centers. So those dollars can be used for anything from books and curriculum to improving the quality of care through teacher training and professional development. We know that there's a huge return on investment for taxpayers and for our entire community. In fact, $4 to $9 is the return for every dollar invested. And we believe that's important because we know that if children are ready for school, that is predictive of whether they're going to be reading at third grade, and reading at third grade is predictive of whether they're going to graduate from high school. So this all starts with parents because parents are a child's first teacher. So to get your child ready for school, some of the tips are read to your child, make sure you're sharing stories, and it can be simple things that you do. Going to the grocery store, talking about the colors that you see, the vegetables you see, and there's so many more tips we can provide you. Go to our Every Parent website and app to learn more about what you can do to get your child ready for school.
Trending now. Mr. Siron is coming up on the live, so give us a minute, please.
I don't have my music. So I'm by myself tonight. All right, well, I guess Brother John's not around, so I have it by myself. Well, I'm coming to you live from the Palm Beach County Convention Center, where the Urban League of Palm Beach County is celebrating its 50th anniversary. They're having a gala tonight, and as I said before, the Urban League is celebrating its 50 years of serving the residents of this community. So I hate that Brother John's not in tonight because I had a lot to talk to him about, but later this evening, 3 outstanding residents will be honored for their part in making their communities a better place. We have Ms. Winsome McIntosh, she's been in this community more than 50 years, and she has dedicated much of her life to philanthropic community, and she will receive the Lifetime Achievement Award. She was one of the founders of the Community Foundation for Palm Beach and Martin counties, one of the larger funding arms to nonprofit organizations in this county. And she has served on the board of several nonprofit and philanthropic organizations, including the McIntosh Foundation, which she has been on since 1972. The Trailblazer Achievement Award will be conferred on West Palm Beach Mayor Keith James, and the Youth Achievement Award will go to Precious Clark, who's a senior at Pahokee Middle Senior High. So since Brother John's not with us tonight, might as well go ahead and tell you about a just beautiful story that there's a lot that happened this week in the world of news. We had a young man who was choked to death in the subway in New York. We had the president holding on to a town hall meeting on CNN. And in Tallahassee, we had a beautiful story out of Tallahassee where a Florida A&M University student Jaquisha Johnson says she asked her mom a few years ago for a new car at her spring break graduation gift. Specifically, this young lady wanted a white Mercedes-Benz AMG GLE 53, whatever that is. And she wanted it not just a white Mercedes, she wanted one with a red interior and black rims. Well, guess what? Her mom, Tika Nanan, recalls telling her, hey, you do your part and I'll hold up my part of the bargain. Well, guess what? Just last Saturday, as you know, Florida State and Florida A&M University had its graduation, and sure enough, this 23-year-old young lady held up her end of the bargain, and she graduated cum laude with a bachelor's degree in biology pre-med. Guess what? Mama handed her the keys to her brand new car. It's been all over the internet, and in that video, we could see the young lady surrounded by her family while crying in shock with her diploma in one hand and her keys in the other. Mother was seen flashing the title for the luxury vehicle while Johnson climbs into the driver's seat. She says, I always told my mom I wanted a Mercedes-Benz when I graduated. And it was really exciting. As I said, we come to you live from the West Palm Beach Convention Center, the site of the Urban League's 50th anniversary ball. Somehow the young lady knew how to drive, and the question I had for Brother John earlier today was, how was the mom able to keep that surprise from her? Well, somehow she was able to do so by locking the car in the garage and at a storage. And she kept telling her daughter that the car was out of her price range, so she couldn't afford it. But nonetheless, the young lady made her mark. She carried her end of the deal. Another story, which I think we'll save for you guys till next week since Brother John's not here, but another story really wanted to tell you about this 13-year-old gun-toting boy over in Lakeland who was running around shooting at officers in a shootout. Well, to say the least, you know who won that fight. But the state of our community as it relates to youth and gun violence. Anyway, that will be it for this week. Since Brother John's not here, I did my part. And as you can see behind me, that's the Urban League poster, Youth Development, Preparing Youth for College, Work, and Life. You can hear the music in the background. I'm going to say so long, young people. I'm very proud of you, the Bowers girls. Got your stage name, Aaliyah and Rakia Bauer. Very proud of the work you're doing, and also very proud of the work that our meteorologist tonight is doing. Take it away, guys. I would love to have some music on the way out if I could. Let me just say thanks to Mr. Jason for pinch hitting for Neil, who is under the weather tonight. And hopefully Neil will be back in full force next week.
If you like what you are seeing, please let us know by liking us, sharing the page with your contacts, and send us a comment on both Facebook and Instagram. And now let's hear from our sponsors.
Right now, delivering the things people need has never been more important. To all of our Amazon retail heroes, On the floor, in the air, and behind the wheel, we want to thank you. We'll continue to do everything we can to keep you healthy, safe, and protected. The work you are doing means everything right now. Thank you.
Bring on spring with calculators that can help you color, videos that get to the point and keep your projects on point, and a store that rings your doorbell anytime you need it. This is doing like never before. This is today's Home Depot. How doers get more done.
All across the United States,
families are paying too high a price to cover the cost of home.
Rent and home ownership costs are skyrocketing,
while wages are not keeping pace.
1 in 6 families are forced to make impossible choices
between safe homes,
nutritious food,
health care,
access to good schools, or reliable transportation.
Which would you choose?
Which would you choose? No family should have to pay more than half their income for a place to live.
Habitat for Humanity is taking a stand.
Habitat for Humanity is taking a stand.
I am taking a stand.
Yo estoy tomando una posición.
I am taking a stand. We are committed to find solutions and create policies
that allow for people to meet their most basic needs.
I believe that no matter where they live or how much they earn,
every family deserves a chance to thrive.
Join us.
Ayúdanos.
Join us.
Join us.
Help make the cost of home something we can all afford.
A warm South Florida welcome to all of our friends who are joining us on KOP Mentoring Network Facebook's page or on YouTube. As usual, shout out to our friends in the Bahamas, Belize, Canada, Costa Rica, Jamaica, Japan, St. Vincent, Tobago, and the UK, U.S. Virginian Islands. Please remember to share community conversations on your social media pages. If you missed the show, you can find it on KOP Mentoring Network's Facebook pages. And while you're there, do us a favor and follow KOPMN on Facebook, please.
If you are watching us live, or even if you are watching one of our Community Conversations Rewind episodes, take a moment and type your city in the chat so we can give shout out to your city. You never know when we may be broadcast from your city, and you may get a tank of gas courtesy of Keller Williams Realty. And now, let's head over to Maui, Hawaii, where Tiara Marcy will introduce the next segment. Tiara? The cinematographer and engineer behind tonight's show is Mr. Jason, who is sitting in for Neil and Jeremiah. To find past community conversations, visit our YouTube channel and type in KOP Mentoring Network in the search bar. That will about do it for this week's edition of Community Conversations. Please join us again next week when we will have another dose of news by and about what young people are doing
Remember to tell your friends about Community Conversations. Please like, subscribe, and share us, and let us know your thoughts by commenting. We hope you learned something tonight that will make a significant impact on your life. Young people, there is no greater investment you can make on a Friday night than being with like-minded people on Community Conversations.
Students, are you considering a career in broadcasting, journalism, or just want to have fun speaking with people? Our Community Conversations team has a spot for you. Community Conversations will prepare you for success in the broadcast industry. Learn from industry professionals in a live setting from the comfort of your home. You will master the technical skills required to control equipment. Regulate audio, visual quality, and produce programs for radio or television. You can build confidence as you build a portfolio to launch your dream career as a radio or television broadcasting technician. To learn more, call 561-665-0151 or email communityconversationspbc@gmail.com.
Thank you again to our sponsors for keeping us going. And thank you, Mr. Jason, for filling in so we could keep our perfect record of giving you Community Conversations for 3+ years.
If you like what you saw here tonight and wish to support the extraordinary work that KOP Mentoring Network does in our community, please like us and share our information.
Share our information on your social media platforms. Join us in sending a big shout out to our terrific Community Conversations star teachers and classrooms, starting with Mrs. Osborne Panthers in her Lit and Skills class at Fulton Junior High in O'Fallon, Illinois.
Mrs. Garnet Schoenfelder and her Mighty Jaguars at North Loop International School in El Paso, Texas.
Mrs. Henner's 5th graders at S.Y. Jackson Elementary in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Mrs. Gunn and her Tigers at Tyler Run Elementary in Powell, Ohio.
Mrs. Kaufmel and her Hawkies at Cookers Elementary in Kenny, Iowa.
Miss Bradkey and her Lincoln Lynx in Plainfield, Illinois.
Mr. Rapp and his Cardinals at Ridge Elementary in Mentor, Ohio.
Mrs. Hyen and her Tridents at Coronado Middle School in Coronado, California, and Mrs. Rodriguez at Anna McDonald School in Manhattan, Illinois.
And Ms. Lewis, the AVID coordinator, and her Eagles at Atlantic Community High School in Delray Beach. Go Eagles! Happy Mother's Day weekend to all the mothers. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in for another amazing rendition of Community Conversations. If you like what you saw tonight, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing with friends, families, and even acquaintances. Be sure to tune back next week for another amazing edition of Community Conversation.